Hello, my friends. It's time to dish with D. That's me. Welcome to Wednesday. And Wednesday, on this channel is D's Wednesday Wisdom for Weight Loss. Your questions get answered right here by me. Again, do I know all the answers? I don't. These are just the answers that, being through my journey and what I've been through, these are the answers that I come up with. You don't have to agree with them. It's just great to open conversation. So I have questions from last week. I have questions that I posted in my Facebook group. And if you have not come to my Facebook group, Just with D's crew, they are linked in the description box below. Come join us over there. And here's the thing. If you have a new Facebook or you just have a Facebook just for groups, I get that because a lot of these things, let me know, because if there's a new Facebook with no information on it, you probably won't get accepted because of, we're just trying to keep it spam free. So if that is you don't want your personal information, I get it, but let me know because it probably won't get approved. Okay. There was one question on an email. D, I love your videos. Thank you. You are the reason I am back on track with WW. And that just warms my heart. It really does. My question with all these changes is, do we have to take these drugs to stay on the program, or can we just continue the plan without being part of the drug situation? You do not have to take part in these drug situations. They acquired a company, if you did not know, called Sequence, which is doctors that do telehealth, where they would be the ones prescribing the medication. Weight Watchers is not prescribing the medication. I don't even know if they're even referring you to that. I think it's there as an option. We don't know that much right now because it's all happened within the last few weeks. So we really don't know what their position is going to be. Are they going to be like at the meeting saying, hey, you might qualify for a weight loss medication. It is an injectable. It's not a pill. It is an injectable. Wegovy. There's like 3 or 4 different ones. We all know it as Ozempic, but there's several different ones. Wegovy and some other weird groovy or something. Here's the funny part about that. The people who need it, the diabetics who take it for and it's not dropping your sugar. It's more for the hemoglobin A1C, which is the projected overall sugar level over a time period. It's not a fasting blood sugar result. So it's not going to lower where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my sugar bottomed out. It's not going to do that. But the funny part, I should say funny, the sad part is the people who need it for that purpose can't get it. So I'm not sure how they're going to be able to get it for the members, because let me tell you something. When you offer somebody a drug to lose weight, to help, you're going to see people coming out of the woodwork, and Slim has arrived. Let's welcome Slim. Thank you, Slim, for joining us. Yeah. And because bottom line, and I'm going to be blunt about this because I understand. We want a quick fix. We want somebody else to do the work for us. We don't want to starve, and it's not even really starve. You feel like you're starving. Are you really starving? No, but you feel like that. I mean, how many times you're like, I'm at a point and I'm hungry. Yeah, we feel like we're starving. You want to be able to eat what you want to eat and still lose weight. FYI, you can't. How you ate got you here. So you have to eat differently to get there. And drugs may help it's a Band-Aid, honestly, because the bottom line is you have to eat less. You have to eat better food. That's how you do it. And that's what they've taught us over all these years. We all know. So you're going to get these new people coming in and saying, hey, give me my drugs, and unless you're being diligent on your plan, these drugs aren't even going to help. They're not. And my downside to that is you have to continue them to keep the weight up. It's kind of like keto. You got to still eat keto to keep the keto weight that you lost, because once you go back to higher carb, bye-bye. So no, you do not have to take it. And I'm hoping they're not pushing it at the meetings. What meetings? They're not having meetings. Yes, a lot of the in-person meetings are shutting down. Check on the www.com site and put your meeting in there and see what it says. They're going strictly online. So I'm hoping these online coaches are not going to be pushing, hey, here's the link to Sequence. You might want to talk to a doctor. Remind you, that Sequence is $99 a month. That does not include medication. And I'm not sure, if that's just to be in the program. I don't know if the doctor visits are, we don't know much of anything. And is your insurance going to cover it? Some insurances might, some insurances won't. I know mine wouldn't cover it. I don't think mine would even cover the telehealth. not from my doctor. I have a plan for New Jersey that strictly to stay in New Jersey. If I mean, I guess maybe if there was an extenuating circumstance, like I was on vacation, it's different. But when you're doing a telehealth, that has nothing to do with where, they probably wouldn't cover me. And I have a $6,000 deductible. Yeah, so remember, if you have a deductible on your plan, you're going to pay the first bit up front. Always remember that. You got to remember, you have to check out a lot of these things before you jump in full force. There's a lot of information you have to check. And you do not have to take it. You do not. Nope. All right, that was that question. I made a comment in last week's video about not liking WW, and somebody asked, what don't I like about WW? It's not that I don't like it. I'm not doing the plan. It's the plan I'm not a fan of. And I'm not sure why that is, because this was my favorite plan. This is where I lost all my weight. I think this algorithm has changed a lot of my favorite foods. I feel like when we're on plan diligently and we do really well, we have core favorite foods. We do. And when those foods change because of a new algorithm and they go up in points, very rarely do they go down, it kind of messes with our mojo. And I feel like that's one of the few things that happened to me with personal points. It kind of messed with my mojo. I like having 0-point proteins. I think they're fantastic. I loved having chicken, fish, yogurt, eggs, beans as my 0 points. They were always my go-to. Potatoes and rice and oatmeal and avocado. I do eat them very frequently, but it's never been a 0-point food for me. It just never worked in my world. And I honestly don't feel that they're that high in points that I have to be concerned. And the pastas, which I didn't like anyway. So I feel like it's me that doesn't, it's not me not liking, it's me with my interpretation. It's not the plan itself, it's me. And I know this. And it's become a lot more clear to me in the last few weeks, that I am not resonating with this. And I don't know why. It's just, I feel like, and I want to always blame the plan or the program. And maybe bottom line, it's me. Maybe I just need a little bit of a switch me up. So we're going to see what's going to happen when I come back from vacation, what we're going to do. I feel like I need some kind of a backup plan. We all need a backup plan. We all need to have a backup plan, because what if some happens and they decide that this merger, that this acquisition isn't going to go well? What happens if Weight Watchers goes under because of it? I mean, it's highly unlikely, but it's not, it's not something that can't happen. What do you have prepared? Are you ready to just, are you secure enough in what you do to live without those? So I feel like we have to feel like we need a safety net. We need something that it's beyond WW. Remember, beyond the scale, we need something beyond WW. So we're going to work on that when I get back. I find the WW app confusing. I'd rather track calories. My gosh, really? That's amazing. And I give you credit, because I find calories confusing. If you are a diligent tracker, the app is not confusing. If you're a fair day tracker, it can be, because you have to get used to how the system works. So I feel like sometimes when we don't pay enough attention to this, but we're worried about that, and we pay more attention to that, and this is on the side, we're not giving this the full attention it needs. And I have many tutorials on the Weight Watchers app. Recipes with Roy, he's got lots of tutorials on the Healthy app. So if you've transitioned over to that, which is not a bad thing, because it's still Weight Watchers. Let's face it, it's still Weight Watchers. The plans are created by Weight Watchers. So he has tons of tutorials. I remember to link his playlist down below. I will, which is, right underneath in the little drop down box. There's an arrow. If you don't see it, and it drops down a lot of the information. And if you can't find it, let me know. So I will definitely link his, because a lot of people have transitioned over to that, and he has several videos. And I have one iTrack Bites tutorial, I think it was iTrack Bites when I did it, but I don't think it's as in depth as his are. So basically, what the green tea flush was. Green tea flush is when I have about 30 to 36 ounces of green tea the day before weigh-in. Like, I weigh in on Saturday, so usually Friday. Sometimes if I'm at work, I go to Starbucks and get a Trente green tea, because I love their green tea. It's so good. And I drink it. And what the green tea does is it gives me caffeine. It flushes, it makes me go to the bathroom. It makes me pee. green tea's known for that. So I drink a crap ton of it. And it's always diluted with ice, so it's not, full force green tea, but it's, and does it help? Yes, I'm in the bathroom all afternoon. And I really think my body gets used to that, because I've done weeks where I've just couldn't get to it, or we were going out, and I don't take it if I'm going out, because I don't need to be finding a bathroom that often. So if we have plans to go somewhere, I don't do it. And I've noticed that the scale does reflect it. So yeah, I mean, is it deceptive? I mean, it's like somebody taking a water pill, I guess, but it's natural. So I'm okay with that. All right, this is the questions from the Facebook group. Okay, let's go to the top. My goodness. Oh no, I'm in the wrong one. I'm like, wrong one. Here they are. I'm like, going, why are there so many comments? That was the, okay. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. View more comments. Sorry about that. If you were to start your weight loss journey all over again, what would you do differently? What would your approach be? How would you think differently about it? What mistakes have you learned from? Well, I don't know if I do anything differently, because I think I joined at the right time with the right plan. And I think everybody has a plan that's right for them. And for me, it was freestyle. I just think it was the right amount of 0 point foods. But and my leader, she was here, she'd tell you, I was very apprehensive about 0 point foods, because remember, I've been doing Weight Watchers for a while, so I knew I used to had to count those foods. I'm like, how could eggs be 0? How could all these be 0? I used to have to count them. So I was very, cognizant of that, and I did not overdo it. I always knew what I ate. I always knew how many eggs I had. I always knew how much yogurt I had. I always knew how much chicken I had. I had the same amount of chicken whether I counted or whether it was 0. That was key too. And I feel like they don't never ran that home enough. Just because it's 0 doesn't mean you could just eat it. You need to know what a serving is. And I was so worried that, oh my God, this is not going to work. And that I was always diligent to make sure what I had. So I don't think I do anything. I think it was just my time. It was my time. And I think everything clicked. And you can't predict that. It just happens. And, what I would do differently would be probably start my channel a bit sooner. I started my channel a year after I went back. So I probably would have started it right then and there, where I had more weight to lose. I think it would have been a lot more fun to be at the 247 mark instead of the and I was 270 originally, but when I went back after my little hiatus, I gained. So as it didn't get all my weight back, so I was at 246. Because you thought you were 270. Well, I was originally, when I did the green plan, I was 270. But when I went back to freestyle, when I joined back, I was 247. Though I left there, I was 216. So from 216 to 247, thinking I had it all under control. So I don't think I do anything differently. Mistakes. I wouldn't change mistakes, because you learn from them. And I don't think I could recall them. I mean, everything is you must make mistakes and you learn from them. I think it's to not expect a mistake or to not want a mistake is kind of a disservice, because I feel like we learn from them. I've made several mistakes. I don't know if I could recall them. Sometimes trusting the wrong people, or having certain people think they have your back and they don't. Maybe that would have been a mistake that I made. I'm too trusting with people. That could be a mistake that I've learned. But about food, no, I think you have to try everything. I think you have to give, nothing is off limits. And they say this, and that's true with everything. I mean, just because somebody says this is bad doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. It might be bad for them for some reason. Does that mean you wouldn't like it or you shouldn't try it? A lot of people have hang-ups with certain types of foods. And that's their hang-up. Does it mean that food is bad? No food is inherently bad. Everything in moderation. And I may be learning that. I would always think, you would hear people say, oh, don't eat that. That's not good for you. Or that's, don't try. With this erythritol. If I had to listen to what everybody said about erythritol, I would be throwing my erythritol in the trash. But I did my due diligence and I looked it up. And I realized that this wasn't a survey that was worthy enough for me to stop taking it. Do I take as much as those people did in that survey? I do not. And you really need to check. I think we need to find our own information out instead of listening to other people. And I say that with you, even with me. Like, I'm not the be-all end-all. If you don't like what I say, go check it out. Go do your research. You have the World Wide Web at your disposal. You're watching YouTube. You have the internet. Google. But watch what you Google, because there's Google sites, and that's the thing that's hard, is you could find a site that backs anything, oh, I say this is true, and here's a link to it. Well, sure, but I could find something that debunks that. And that's the world we live in, where everybody's got their own agenda. And that's what you have to get past, everybody's agenda, and just do what you need to do and what works for you. So I hope that answered that question. Do you ever think your why changes? I feel like mine is, and for some reason it has thrown me off my game while I try to figure it out to move forward. Yes, I think your why evolves. So I wouldn't say changes, it evolves, because your life changes, you change. So your why, in a way, like for me, it was to live, because I was slowly killing myself. And I know it doesn't sound overly dramatic, but truly it was. So when you get my why now, I'm not slowly killing myself, but my why is I need to figure out how to live in this world, and food that I enjoy. So I'm not fighting for my life now, but I am fighting to keep where I'm at, in a way, like, so I don't gain weight back. We're at this place where it can go, you're right here, you're teetering on the edge. You just need to figure out how not to go down. You just need to figure out to go back up here a little bit further up. So it is definitely going to change. And it might, because I think some whys you think in your head are not as important. Like for me, to live is a huge one. Like to me now, trying to get these few pounds off. When comparison, it sounds like this is nothing compared to your other why. Maybe that's why you're not doing well. I mean, all whys are important to you. They might not be important to Sally Ann, but they're important to you. And sometimes we don't need to share our whys with other people, especially if other people judge us. And we know that they do. It's the world we live in. People judge you, and they verbally judge you because they post it online. And it's kind of like, are you kidding me? But they would never say some of these things that they say to you on a text to your face. So always remember that. People are very, they have lots of, courage when they don't have to look at you in the eye. But yeah, definitely figure out what it is you need to do and move forward slowly. You're at a different place than you are when you started. So it's going to be a little bit different. That desperation isn't always there. And that sometimes catapults you. When you're at the beginning, you have hundreds of pounds to lose, or even 100 or that is life changing. Not that this isn't, but it's a different kind of mindset. Hitting plateaus. They happen. They do. And for no reason, it just could be your body just doesn't want to lose weight. Even though it's unhealthy to be overweight, your body likes it. So I guess my advice is you just got to keep doing your plan. As disheartening as that is, because you're not seeing the results that you want, you got to keep it up. Just know in your head, this is normal. This is normal. I just have to keep plugging through. Sometimes changing up the activity you do, like if you're like me, that's what I'm looking to do. I do Leslie Sandstone walking, which is a cardio thing, and I burn calories. And I'm thinking to myself, I've been burning calories since 2020. It's now 2023. Maybe now I need to burn fats. Maybe I need to really dig a little bit deeper in my workout. So I'm looking to sit there and change a little things come next month on how my body, burns fat. So you just have to know, again, your journey evolves. So maybe the way you burn calories or work out needs to evolve too. Not that you shouldn't do that walking, but maybe we need to add a little bit something in there to change it up, or maybe do it every other day and do something else those other days, just to give your body something to like, ooh, what is she doing? Like, so they call it shaking it up. I hate using that expression, but that's expression. But yeah, it's basically you're just changing it up because your body doesn't know what's coming next. Tips on losing after menopause and during life struggles. Life struggles is hard because we eat for stress. What I always tell people about that before we go to menopause is, if eating helped, I'd say do it. But eating doesn't help. It just puts you in a worser mindset. So realize that, yes, I'm stressed, and yes, I want to eat, but eating is not going to change my situation. It's going to make me more upset. So try to find something that makes you happy, whether it be an activity, a hobby, a TV show. YouTube has old General Hospital episodes. Sometimes when I'm, I go on there and I watch Luke and Laura's wedding again. I know. But it's something that, as a kid, it brought me back to being a kid again. Well, I shouldn't say a kid, I was like a teenager. Like, I think I was 12. And it was just something and you just kind of zone out for a little bit. You get away from the situation. And sometimes when you come back to the situation, you realize, well, you have a different perspective. Sometimes you need to get out of it to get a better perspective. Menopause that's a hormonal thing. There are different over-the-counter things you can take that might help. I don't know them offhand, I don't take them, but I always hear people or different types of herbs or supplements you can take. It's harder. You seem to tend to, during menopause, it seems like I'm post-menopause. I've been for several years, but I think I'm seeing more of those results now than I did when I first went into menopause, which was probably before I was 50. I think it was like 47, 48 when I went. Now I'm 57. So it's been about 10 years. I think it's caught up with me. I feel like I seem to have weight gain in my mid area, which I was always pretty much all over the place. But I feel like that's been part of my struggle is my body is finally saying, hey, we're in menopause now. We don't want to lose weight. It does. I think you just have to keep again. And I know this isn't the answer you want to hear. Doing your plan. I know it's not the answer I even want to give, but that's the only thing. And you may see loss. It's just not as big. Remember, when you don't have a lot of weight to lose, you don't lose every week. You just don't. And for you to think that you will, then that's setting yourself up for failure as well. Or even during menopause, you'll see less amounts of loss, but you'll still see losses. But yeah, try doing different kinds of activities. I know we all don't want to join a gym, and I don't ever recommend, but there's different YouTube. Try to do some stretching and some yoga. That's always really nice, and it's in the WW app. One of the reasons why I like it. You should really check out the app for the different things that they have. Favorite beauty and skincare items to pamper ourselves with our use of little milestone rewards. I love a good moisturizer. Now, everybody's favorite moisturizer is different. I think you should go into maybe Ulta or even Kohl's, where they now have Sephora, and go see if they'll give you some samples. Because I feel like for me to give you a product, I use IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. I love it. But I went through several before I decided on that one, and they're very expensive to buy. But I will say is definitely get a toner before you put your moisturizer in. And after you cleanse your face, always cleanse your face, you put the toner on. And then that opens your pores so it accepts the moisturizer. I look forward to putting my moisturizer. It feels so good. It does. And you just feel, and your skin just drinks it up. And so I would say go see and get some samples. And go get yourself a facial. Oh my God, if you've never had one, that is the best $100 you'll ever spend. It is fantastic. And they'll recommend some products as well. But little used to pamper milestone rewards is, I do my ear fleek. These are Timo, but I do have ear fleek. These are ear fleek, little butterflies. I belong to them. It cost me $3.50 a month. I treat myself to earrings. They're supposed to be $15 value, but they cost you $3. They're fantastic. I love them. They make me happy. It comes in a cute little, do I have any envelopes here? Cute little pink envelopes. I don't have. I think I got rid of them all. Oh, there's one there. I'm not gonna think that maybe I'll show it at the end. A fun pink envelope that comes in the mail for you, and I love it. It makes me happy. Find something that makes you happy. Whether it be arts and crafts, whether it be fun jewelry, maybe a girls' night out once a month. It's always fun with your girlfriends, and don't make it all about yes, it's about food. I'm going to say that, but sometimes food is one thing, but the old beverages are a whole other ball game. But go out and get a wine spritzer and get some nachos and treat yourself once a month. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, definitely. I'm a big eyeliner person, and I'm a big moisturizer. And the toner, and I'm going to tell you, I get my toner at the Dollar Tree. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And it opens your skin up, and it feels so fantastic. Dining out, what to choose? Oh, that's always fun. I tend to go, obviously, with chicken and fish. Now, here's the thing. If we're at a steak restaurant, I'm getting steak. If this place is a steakhouse, get steak. Don't get chicken and fish if you're at a steakhouse, because they're known for their steak. When we go to Texas Roadhouse, I get a steak. It's not too bad. Now, if I want to pull back, maybe instead of getting like a potato, I'll get 2 vegetables or a salad. So this is why I love steak and salad. That's like my favorite. But if, you can get chicken, you can get fish. If you have points for a starch, then put on the plate. Baked potato is always my favorite option because I can control those points versus, I always say dry with stuff on the side. So I can put my butter or my sour cream on myself. If they put it on, then, usually, I don't say not get it. I say get it on the side so you can put it on yourself, or a baked sweet potato. Oh, I love baked sweet potatoes. And I get this stuff on the side. Yes, I have my cinnamon and brown sugar. Okay, a little bit. Don't go hurt nobody. But yeah, I usually try to go with the baked potato if I don't have points. Now, if I have points, then yeah, I'll get a rice or a pasta. It all depends what you've had earlier in the day. And if you know you're going out, eat a little bit lighter. And what I say that way is have, eggs for breakfast. Yes, I encourage you to have a piece of toast because let me tell you something, you got to have carb in there. You're not going to be full all day with just eggs. And lunch, do not skip lunch. You always have something. I have some rotisserie chicken, have that with some Wassa crackers. You can get 2 of the sourdough Wassa crackers for 1 point. And I make like a little chicken salad and I put it on there. I don't go to that restaurant starving because if I do, I'm not going to care what I order because I'm starving, and you shouldn't be starving anywhere. There's enough 0-point low calorie options. Yogurt, have a Premier Protein or 3 points, but they're so filling. I drink the chocolate peanut butter is one of the ones I like to drink. I don't like to put in my oatmeal. Don't ask me why. But I keep one in the fridge. When I want a snack, if I don't have anything around, don't know what I want, I grab that. It's 3 points and it's 20 grams of protein and it's delicious. And it feels like a little bit something, like a chocolate milkshake. So definitely don't go anywhere hungry. But I love fish. I love scallops. I love shrimp. Things that you don't get at home. Like we make, Slim's here. We make salmon here a lot. So a lot of times when I'm out, I don't always get salmon unless I have some kind of funky salsa on top. One time I had a mango pineapple. I'm like, okay, I'm getting that. But 9 times out of 10, I try to get shrimp and scallops that we don't have as often here. Mussels, clams, crab meat. Or sometimes I'll get like a pasta entree. If you get something that's really high in point and you know it's high in point, when it comes to your table, I ask the waitress to bring me over a to-go container and I take it out and I put it in there and I put it over to the side. Or I'll put it on Steve's plate. Because once it's on his plate, I don't want it anymore. So I can't eat something if I've removed it. Like eventually you'll get to that discipline where if it's not there, you're not going to eat it. But if you leave it there and say, I've done this. You kind of cut it down the middle and push it to the side. But this is I'm taking this home, but it still sits there. Sure, because it's sitting there. But if I've given the orders for that to go in the box and it's away or it's on his plate, I won't go after it. I know, weird, but then it works. Whatever works for you, and you'll find that. And I told Steve about this cruise, I'm going to tell the girls, you need to say to me, do you really want that? Do you think I want them to be, I don't want them to be snarky, but I want them to question me. So I will be like, it'll bring me down because sometimes, let's face it, we're in front of this food and we're in la la land. It's like, I'm not on Weight Watchers this week. I'm just going to eat my face off. I don't want to get to that point. So that's what I choose. Usually a baked potato, dry vegetable, or double veg. If I'm not really starving, like I know, like sometimes the portions of chicken and fish are a little bit bigger than you get at home. So sometimes, like if you know a restaurant you've eaten there before and you know what it looks like, maybe you can get a double vegetable, like 2 orders of broccoli or broccoli and a zucchini. Always helps. My husband and I go out a lot. Typically pubs where everything is high on points. Often it's dinner. Can you offer low point breakfast and lunch suggestions to complement a high point meal? I did that. I'm a picky eater and I don't care for many vegetables. Well, take the chicken salad route. Or tuna. Let me tell you something. A tablespoon of mayo, which is 1 point of light mayo, goes a long way. And you can mix it with a little bit of yogurt. And if you use Fage, it's so creamy and delicious. Yeah, make yourself a little chicken salad. Or even just pieces of rotisserie chicken breast. It's so moist and delicious. Have it on a cracker. I definitely suggest, I was going to say even adding something, like even just having vegetables is interesting, but it's not filling. And if we don't eat enough, we're going to go into that dinner starving. So yeah, I'm all about having a carb in there. You got to. Proteins are one thing, but you need a carb, and carbs get a hugely bad rap in this weight loss community. And I understand that. But if you keep them in check and you eat ones that are a little bit lighter, like the protein breads that Aldi has out, the 647 breads. They're a little bit lighter, but they're still a little, it's better than not having any. And definitely go for the Wassa crackers, or any type of cracker I like the Mary's Gone crackers, the seed crackers. Even if you get Ezekiel bread. One slice is 1 point. It's a nice grainy bread and toast it up. It's fantastic. So I would definitely say hit the protein, hit the chicken. If you like, maybe make a little egg salad or just some hard-boiled eggs sliced on that cracker with a little bit of seasoning. Or, make some little deviled eggs. You can make your deviled eggs with yogurt, and they're fantastic. So don't ever put yogurt as your creamy element. You just have to buy the right one. Making it homemade, I will tell you, is probably the best. But I know we all don't have time for that. So if you don't, I say Chobani and Faye are the best tasting plain yogurts out there. So yeah, definitely, or you can do Kodiak in the morning. Yes, it's 3 points for a third cup, but it's going to keep you full. And that's the whole, we want to keep you full, and drink plenty of water. And I will tell you, I had to take I moved my fiber medicine up to the morning because I keep forgetting to take it. So I've been moving it up to the morning, and having that extra cup of really has kept me full. I will tell you, there's something to be said for drinking your water. There is. It definitely helps in that area. So definitely, or if you're not a water drinker, drink seltzer. Drink unsweetened iced tea. Slim agrees. Tips for staying on track. I do a good breakfast and lunch and then blow it. What are you blowing it on? Would be my first question. Is it snacky stuff, or is it dinner in general? I would say I would say track your dinner first, and then maybe with that in the app, that might help breakfast and lunch. But you're already good for breakfast and lunch. But I'm curious to what you're blowing it on. Is it blowing it on dinner or blowing it on snacky stuff? If it's snacky stuff, change the snacky stuff around. Like for me, I tend to grab nuts and pretzels. Not the best thing to snack on when you're like trying to pick. I need to snack on more cucumbers and carrots and maybe some hummus or maybe some more of my ranch dip. And like sometimes you just want to chew. And if I have to gravitate towards the better snacks. So if it's snacks that you're blowing with, I would say gravitate towards apple and peanut butter. I know it's like nobody wants to eat vegetables, but they are easily, you can grab and go with them. And you can eat them mindlessly. Keep them out. Keep a little tray of veggies and dip out on your counter in the late afternoon. So if you're going to grab something, that's there. Sometimes we grab what's in front of us. And for me, it's the pretzels. They're right in front of me. Maybe I need to move them. So put what you want to eat, the lower point things, in your view so you can see it, and that's what you're going to grab first. I definitely love like a good apple dip, bananas and peanut butter. So maybe have those options available, and everything else is kind of tuck away. Because if it's snacky, picky stuff that you're gravitating towards, get it out of your eyesight. Out of sight, out of mind, it works. Because if it's there, you're going to grab it. If it's not there and you see, oh, okay, I'll get my make a spinach dip with yogurt and spinach. Put a little green onion in there and some of that seasoning. That's great to snack on. It feels a little decadent, but it's spinach and yogurt. When you think about it, it's really nothing. But it looks like something. And you like spinach dip, so yeah, I would use that. So I hope that answered that question. If not, you write me another one if I messed it up. Any healthy fast breakfast idea, something to make and it's on the go. I love my little loaves that I make. You could pre-make them, like the banana bread, the grits loaf, the cream of wheat loaf. You could pre-make them and have them in the refrigerator and grab them and eat them. I've eaten them in the car. You don't have to toast them and put them with peanut butter, but you can. A breakfast sandwich on the go, a breakfast wrap. You can make it the night before, heat it in the microwave, wrap it in foil, and eat it where you need to go. Overnight oats. It's ready to go. You bring it with you and you eat it where you need to eat it. It's ready. Everything has to be pre-made. So anything like that has to be made. So I would say overnight oats, breakfast sandwich, breakfast wrap. One of the mini loaves are always great. You could make pancakes, but that's hard to make and go because you can make them. You could buy those. Everybody's buying those Premier Protein ones that come 3 in a pack. They're 6 points. I mean, they're ready to go. You just have to microwave them. You could, if you want to eat at work, you could just heat them up in the microwave at work, or you can make your own pancakes and microwave them as well. That's usually my go-to breakfast. You can make a smoothie. You can make a Progurt bowl. I mean, they all can be made at night, and you just grab it and go. And I've eaten things like that in the car, so you definitely could just, you keep it in a little container. You open up your container and pour your toppings, whether it be fruit. The other container has nuts and seeds, and you just eat it. So that's would be my grab and go breakfast. Self-sabotage. I do good for a few days, and then something upsets me, or I don't care attitude and blow it. Oh yeah, because basically we put everybody else first. So we have to, something goes wrong. All right, what I'm doing with my journey has to go back here. I can't deal with this journey right now because I have to deal with this. Not realizing that your journey is just as important as that situation. I know that sounds harsh because like maybe that situation is really dire. But sometimes our journey is really dire because if we don't get this weight loss under control, we're going to be in difficulty in the later years. And think about that. Does your family understand that? If I don't get this under control now, you're going to be taking care of me because I won't be able to move because I'll be too big. I won't be able to go to the bathroom by myself. I won't be able to change my clothes by myself because I can't move because I've gained too much weight. So yeah, this journey is very important. It's for survival of us. And we're the ones that take care of everyone else. So they have to understand that maybe you don't bother me with all these, things right now, unless it's really dire. Like sometimes like our grown children hand us their problems. Well, you're grown. I mean, unless you're desperate, try to figure it out on your own, then come to me. I mean, I feel like, my boys are, Timmy will be 25 this year, and Peter will be 24, and Patrick's 30. I mean, they have to learn how to, and I said this to Timmy the other day, I said, you need to figure it out, because I can't always give you the answers. You need to figure it. It's kind of like figuring out our weight loss journey. Sometimes you just need to sink or swim. And if he sings, then he calls me, and then I go and rescue him. But we have to give them the opportunity to figure it out on their own. We can't keep saving them. And it's kind of like we need to, for them to figure it out, helps us figure stuff out. And we're always there in the background because it's not like you're that far away. But we self-sabotage because we feel we don't deserve to be here and to do this. So I'm just going to eat. What does it matter? No matter what I do, I gain. So why am I even trying? We say that to ourselves all the time. Like, we could have the best week and then the scale goes up and we like, I was really good and the scale didn't reflect that, so I'm not trying anymore. Just because the scale went up doesn't mean you had a bad week, and doesn't mean that anything you did wasn't valued and worthy. It just means at that time, let's repeat after me, that's what the scale said. Does the scale get it wrong? All the time. You just can't, it's a number. And that's why they want us to judge our journey by other than the number. There's so many things that go on with our bodies that change that we have to look at the other things, because that scale is never going to give us what we want. I wish it did. I wish I could sit there and say this week, I'm going to have a loss. I have no idea. I highly doubt it. I do. But, right now I don't. I'm going to I really don't care. I'm getting ready to go away, so I don't even know if I want to get Weight Friday. Because, I don't think I need to go in with a bad attitude. Not that it's even going to give me a bad attitude, but I know I was not on plan this week. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide that. I've not been on plan this week. I've been busy. I've been getting ready. I know that I will be back on the 26th of March. So that's the day, because that's the day we barely even are going to be on the boat. So that is my day of reckoning. There, I put it in there. That is the day that I have to recommit fully to my lifestyle, because I've gotten away from it, and I have to stop blaming Weight Watchers plan for the reason that I don't do well, because honestly, maybe my head's just not in it, and why I could not even tell you. But what I will say is don't let what goes on in our lives blow our journey, because that is what should propel you. Because if something is going on that's upsetting you, what can you control? I can control my journey. I can control the foods I make and the foods I eat. And that might make you grounded enough to take care of that situation that's really has you upset. Because once you get control of one thing, things start to fall into place. But if we If we spiral from one thing and just let everything else spiral, then it's just going to do that. We have to find something we can control. And one of the biggest things we can control is what we put in our mouth and the exercises that we do and the way we respond to things. Like, you know what? Breathe. Sometimes I always tell you, if you're upset about something, if your life isn't going how it should and you want to grab and go all ape shit, write it in the group. Put it out there. Say, I'm having a really bad day. I just don't know what to do. I just want to keep eating. And somebody, I guarantee you, will say something to you. There'll be many people that say something to you. But just having the one person is going to sit there and say, put it down. You got this. Don't let this get out of control. And sometimes having somebody listen to you and care about you makes all the difference. Because sometimes we're not getting that in our personal life. I said this last week. The people in our lives don't understand this. They can't. So for us to expect them to figure it out, like I finally given that ship up years ago. Like my husband doesn't get it, and that's okay. He doesn't have to. You know, I have my community that gets it, and that will give me what I need. Because sometimes we don't get that what we need because they're just incapable of doing it. And when you realize they just can't, it's not that they don't want to, they just can't because they don't understand. And only people that understand are people that are on this journey with you. So reach out. That is why we have a community. That is what made Weight Watchers so fantastic. That meeting is what saved people, and they're taking that away, and that's what they don't understand. That's what they don't understand. They're taking away people's lifeline to people that understand them and to see them. Yes, we have virtual, but there's nothing like going in there and seeing people face to face, listening to their story, listening to how their week went, telling them how your week went, giving yourself to them, and them giving themselves to you. It's irreplaceable and for some people, and that's why it's so devastating, and they don't understand that. They don't. They're another ones that probably aren't run by people that have been on a weight loss journey that long. Maybe Seema never did. Maybe she has no idea what it's like to be in this position. She might not. So not that I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, but well, that is it. I thank you for all your thought-provoking questions. They're always good. Every week you guys come through. This was a good one. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below what you thought of these questions. And if you have a question that you don't do Facebook, you can leave it in the comment section below of this video, and I usually check it before I go on. So I would appreciate it. And if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, this is the community for you because we got you covered. We're your family. And if you are, if your meeting got canceled, come join us here. We go live here a lot on this channel. We may have to increase our lives because we might have to. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe going live before the Zoom and maybe Fridays for a while. We'll see. I'm thinking maybe we'll think about it when I come back from the cruise. So thank you so much for watching. And like I said, thank you for all your support for this channel. It means the world to me. And the fact that you love this video means everything to me because this is a personal video. And the fact that this resonates with so many of you warms my heart. And this video is your video because you inspire me and you make this video up. It's not about me. It's about all of us. So we are a community of Dish with D. That's me. So I will dish with you tomorrow for the day in the life vlog. Have a great day. Bye-bye, my lovelies.